Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all having a wonderful Thursday. I decided to record today, not go live. It just allows me to be a little bit more proficient in my time management. Mm, But God bless you. I do want to drop just a quick little word of encouragement this morning. I was just reading Romans chapter 1, and I was really looking at this verse. Romans 1:16 says, "For I am not ashamed of the good news about Christ. It is in the power of God at work, saving everyone who believes, the Jew first and also the Gentile." This is good news. Tell us how God makes us right in his sight. This is accomplished from start to finish by faith, as the scriptures say. Now, as I kept reading along in this same chapter, it also talked about an aspect where Paul is getting angry about sin, right? And there's this one verse that says that they are backstabbers, haters of God, insolent, proud, and boastful. They invent new ways of sinning and they disobey their parents. Um, I know those are two different aspects as we look into this text today, but it makes me think about how we have to be so conscious about how we are living our lives, both on and off camera, around people, and in private. Like what we do in private is equally important as what we're doing in the presence of other people, right? Now, God also tells us in Scripture that He will make our enemies our footstool. But how does that happen, right? The only way that that can happen is, of course, living a life that is pleasing to God. The last thing that we want to do is become so prideful that we forget where God has brought us from. So today, I'm sure many of you have made a lot of money, especially if you're with us in the Checkers group. Shout out to you. Make sure you put something in the comments for me. But I know you guys have made a lot of money, but do not forget where God has brought you from today, right? Don't get so prideful because, hey, you may be wealthy now, you may be rich now, whatever you define yourself, or you may be on your way to that horizon. Know that God is up to something major, right? And we cannot afford to go backwards. There are absolutely no backward steps in life. So I pray that that blesses you and encourages you on today. That being said, let's get right to the bag. I want to go right to the markets this morning. Make sure that you tap in with me at www.rogers1906.com. You could join the Chestnut Checkers group. That's Chess Not Checkers. Again, the what closed captions, it always does chestnut. So I wanted to make sure I specify and say that with you guys this morning. So I pray that that motivational segment does help you guys. All right, so let's take a look at the futures today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to move this out the way so you'll kind of see me looking in multiple directions here. So I do apologize for that, but I do thank you for taking your time out to go and watch this replay today. All right, so let's go ahead and share my screen. We're going to go right to the stock screener here. Now, we're looking at the overall viewpoint from finviz.com. Again, we like to look at the futures from here. So we're going to get the futures pulled up. It looks like we're coming off of the lows from yesterday. We know the market sold off hard. We made a lot of money on puts, on SPY, on SPX, maybe even on QQQ and NVIDIA, even Tesla and MicroStrategy. Everything dropped hard yesterday. We needed that correction so much. Correction is often a new direction. That's another message for another time. But anyways, market looks like it wants to recover, but I wouldn't get too confident today. All right, I wouldn't get too confident today. Let's go take a look at www.cnbc.com. This is kind of how I navigate my mornings. Kind of look at the top headlines as well. So taking a look at the top headlines, Dow futures. Um, uh, Bounce after index drops 1,100 points in the straight loss. All of this having to do with Jerome Powell and the FOMC deciding to go ahead with the quarter point rate cut, but slow down on their rate cuts into 2025. They plan to go only do two versus their initial plan to do four. So depending on what happens with the economy, maybe they're pricing in tariffs. Who knows, right? But again, this was a good decision, and we really needed this correction. Also, in just normal news, we see an opposition for the GOP's funding bill with the congressmen, senators, elected officials wanting to increase their salary. That's crazy, right? We can't even fund our normal programs, fund Social Security entirely. So those are just a few of the headlines today. Let's go take a look at the market gainers. And I went right back to FinViz. FinViz. TradyTix.com. All right, TradyTix.com. This is where I get this information. This is a paid subscription. A lot of the proceeds I utilize from classes go to provide things like this for you guys when we go live. We're also in the Chess Not Checkers group. So this morning I want to explore just the stocks so we can see the biggest gainers and losers. All right, we see BCN, ACN, MicroStrategy is actually a biggest gainer this morning. Coinbase, Robinhood, and Tesla's creeping back in that bad boy. We like to see bounces on Tesla, right? Biggest loser, Micron. They had earnings last night. VRTX, LEN, MFC, and DHI. We also see LRCX over there on the back burner as well on the biggest loser side. But I do want to point out we got Palantir tucked away, CrowdStrike, Nvidia, Carvana, all of those tucked away over there on the biggest gainer side. We love to see it. Also, I want to just drop down just a little bit. You know, when you go down just a little bit more, again, reading is fundamental, right? We'll see that we have a few congressional trades I want to just put on your radar. Congressmen such as Michael Collins, they're starting to buy this cryptocurrency, SKI USD. I did look for this on Uphold. Couldn't find it, but I am in Arrow USD, been holding that. We had a good opportunity to dollar cost average cryptocurrency yesterday, so we'll talk a little bit about that. We also see a little bit of buying on Amazon. Okay. Also, I want to point something out to you guys: the dark pool, right? The dark pool. This is a way where people are buying positions into certain tickers at a certain time that most of us cannot. So I'm seeing a lot of buying right now of Meta, JP Morgan Chase, even United Healthcare, also Walmart, right? I think that these are all strong inflationary proof companies. Well, I wouldn't say maybe United Healthcare, but Walmart is for sure. So definitely worth keeping a watch on these. I hope you're able to screenshot them so you can go and do some research on them later. Now, guys, it's time for Marksman's potential snipes. Let's go right to it, right? Let's go right over to Trade and View. And I just want to say, wow. That's the word of the day. The word of the day is wow. Okay. Um, there's a song that I love that me and my frat brothers used to hop to. Some of y'all may call it strolling to in college called Nuck If You Buck. This ticker Nuck. This thing literally ran from $10, which was my average cost when I first bought into it, all the way up to like 76.94. Mind you, yesterday when the market sold off, before it sold off, I took profits on this thing twice yesterday. But today, I had another position. I had 200 shares, walked away with $13,000 on this particular play. And Nuck really isn't done, right? We got as low as like $35 or something like that last night. Yeah, 30 something. And then I dollar cost averaged my 100 shares down at the bottom, and it ran back up to about $76 pre-market today. And guess what? Your boy had to secure the bag. But again, I do not think that this uptrend is over yet. We look at the 1-day time frame. We know that this has been a parabolic move. We've got resistance right here at $71.74. Once it breaks 81.25, it's going to run. Their market cap increased drastically in the past 2 days. Market cap is now at 163.69 million. Is it too late to buy? That really depends on your patience and your willingness to watch the chart. I think the volume will decrease on this ticker, but the more we talk about it, there's a lot of manipulation that possibly could come in on this play. But it is listed as a strong buy in the short term and the weekly and even on the monthly. So this could be one that runs later. Maybe I will regret selling my shares, but I never regret taking profits. All right. So today, of course, I'm going to be watching Micron. Micron had earnings yesterday. Right now it's at 91.44. I want to keep in mind that this thing did drop a little below $89. I think we touched 88. Yeah, actually we touched $86 on Micron. So I do have some puts. I think I have some lotto calls out to January 2025 as well. I don't see this getting back over $100 right now in the short term, but there will be some bounces here as the market is trying to figure out its pace of direction right now. Before the earnings took place, Micron had already sold off from around 110, 111 per share to I think $106 by closing. So here we are. It was like 112. There we go. And then it started selling off. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I think that Micron will possibly find some support right at $100, maybe. All right, just maybe, if it does go back up. All right, so we want to make sure that we catch those trends and not feelings. Predictive range looks like we're going to go to 93.18 for a call option entry with a 97.48 price target. Okay, if it goes to the upside, put option entry $90.19, right? And I'll probably have about an $84 price target on Micron. I also have $100 puts on Micron out to January 17th. 2025. So they're in the money, have a great opportunity to take profits, but I possibly could take advantage of the bounce as well. So watch the trend and make it your friend. Okay. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about Palantir. Palantir, out of all the stocks that dropped yesterday, and I don't know if you guys were really watching this thing, Palantir didn't drop that as hard as everything else did. It's still above $70. We want to stay above $70 on Palantir. This tells me that at any day now that we're going to see this thing really start to make some very powerful moves to the upside. In fact, if we look at our weekly chart and zoom in a little bit, let's get this fit to the screen. We'll see that we're still in a very dominant uptrend on Palantir. So I think again, this is an opportunity to accumulate and buy more of these positions. Okay. So I like this for a long-term play. As you guys know, I'm in some June 2025 calls on Palantir at the $100 strike. I do believe we'll be at $100 by March 2025. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at here. Give me 1 second. All right. So, also want to take a look at a few other tickers that I had on my list for you guys. I want to look at SPY because again, this is a big go-to for many investors. It's one of the most heavily traded ETFs in the entire stock market. ETF is an exchange trust fund, which has a compilation of many different stocks included in it. Now, this actually includes many of the stocks included on the S&P index. But as we see SPY move, the S&P index is likely going to move as well. Your larger cap tickers, such as your Apple, your Nvidia, your Microsoft, your Netflix, your um, uh, what else? Amazon, all of that is wrapped up into this particular ticker. Okay. So right now we're seeing SPY bounce and test 591.44 pre-market. And it looks like it may consolidate. If we fall below 590, I think that's going to present a great opportunity to buy some puts. We want to watch the S&P index closely. What we could be witnessing pre-market is a dead cat bounce because the market could flip into a bear market really, really fast. We're overdue for a correction. So I won't complain if the market goes red. Okay. One thing that possibly could keep us up is crypto. So we'll talk a little bit about crypto in a little bit. But SPY is definitely playing a game. So these are going to be some quick snipes if you play SPY today. Yesterday, if you played puts, you made a lot of money. I know I did. I hope you did too. But we also made money to the upside on SPY. So yesterday morning, just as I told you guys I would, I had bought some SPY calls out to 30 days out, right? I took my 10% on those calls. I think I bought four of them, told the CNC about them. And then guess what? I walked away, all right, because I had some other things to take care of. But it was a great opportunity to make a lot of money. All right, so SPY today, just watch the choppiness, okay? Just be very, very careful with that. All right, a lot of you also possibly want to look at Clean Spark, so I'll touch on that again. I know somebody asked a question about it yesterday. Miners are gonna just they're gonna consolidate for a while. I like anything June or later for these mining plays. We've got quite a bit of them. You got CleanSpark, you got Coinbase, you've got Cipher. I say Coin is not a miner, but it's a Bitcoin related play. BTCM. BTBT. I'm just clicking them on the screen so you can see them. GREE, Hive Blockchain, HUT, Iron, which is Iris Energy. This is the one that wants to pay dividends in Bitcoin. You got Mara, you've got Riot, Stronghold Digital, Wolf, all of these companies, right? If you're really looking at the chart, the price on each and every one of them are consolidated right now. These are all pristine buying opportunities, right? Right now, even pre-market, Riot is up $12.46. So all of our miners, they will do well. Now, there's also a huge topic right now, and those are our quantum computing plays. Now, I talked about RGTI several times, and believe it or not, I took profits on my 100 shares yesterday, right before the collapse. Now, this creates another good buying opportunity to buy some calls or even reposition in shares. I think maybe even Armando mentioned it last night in his live. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but today we want to see RGTI break above $10.98. I think that we're going to have a key level of resistance right here at 1091. Now, keep in mind that 1098 can happen pre-market. And then if that happens, we want a target price of 1131 on RGTI to see $11.86. Above $11.86, RGTI is going to run, but this gives us, again, a buying opportunity for the long-term play. Long term will always pay if we position ourselves, right? So RGTI still looks good. QUBT, Qubit, as a lot of people like to call it. We want to see this thing break 2506. Another good buying opportunity. Now, surprisingly, this one didn't fall as hard as everything else yesterday. But guess what? I did take profits on my position. And of course, if we can break that 2502, we want to see a complete break of resistance at 2667, and then we can possibly start running and retesting those highs that we previously saw. The high was around 2717, and then our next level of resistance is at 2844 on the 1-day time frame. But QUBT is still a good play. And there's one that a lot of people slept on, but a lot of people got rich from it if they were in the CNC or if they were at our event in Houston where we had our first billionaire guest speaker, right? In fact, he wrote this book called Action Now. I wish I had it close by. I don't have it close by. Thought I did. But it was a great event. We talked about ARQQ then. At that time, it was like around 38 cents. 38 cents. People had hundreds or thousands of shares. And here we are now at $39. And I think that ARQQ is still a good buy opportunity for our swing traders in the quantum computing space, right? This will go to $55, $56, but we may have a little bit of pullback and support around 31.58. Let's go a little bit closer on the day and think about some entries possibly on ARQQ because we are in a beautiful bull flag right now. The truth has a buy signal at the moment. So today we may see another good buying opportunity with ARQQ. And I think that this is perfect for us, right? Also, a lot of people are asking about Kalur. Now, we talked about KULR about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I think I talked about it on the live. And this thing did pump, right? The shares were like $1 and some change. Now we're at $2.94. And now everybody's asking about it, right? You guys got to pay attention and be early to the party because now what you're going to see is a lot of volume increasing on Kalur. And we may see it pull back to about 284. Find some support at 276. We do have a bullish breaker structure at 264, but if it falls below 264, guess what? It's going to $2.28 or lower. It's quite bullish on the 65-minute time frame, but again, it's going to be manipulated because now everybody's talking about it. If we need to see a break above $3.60 for it to really take off, I would like to see those nut if you buck prices on Kalur. But again, I talked about this some time ago. Below 277, this could go back to where it closed, which was around 263. Okay. 327 is going to be a key sign that this thing is getting ready to run. Okay. But again, it's still not late if we're thinking about the longer term perspective. Okay. So just wanted to give you guys that. Now, the last ticker I wanted to cover, stock market side, is Walmart. Okay. I told you guys that I thought that Walmart would be over $100 come January. Now, the pullback like that we had yesterday was absolutely wonderful for us. Okay. It was absolutely wonderful. And if you don't see the glory in that, look, you need to go get the everything bundle. DM me, direct message the word Batman, okay? Or send me, go to my website, www.rogers1906.com, and I'll send you a special link to get the everything bundle because you've got to learn how to see the stuff happening before it does. Now, today I want to see Walmart break 94.45. That will present a great opportunity for call options at the $100 strike 2 or 3 months out, right? Then if we break that 94.91, we get confidence in the trend. If we want to start scalping some gains, that's fine. But our target price is going to be 95.22 on Walmart and possibly even $96.28 today to the upside. We had a lot of support at $93.72. So in the event that we do fall below, I'll say about 93.95, then we can start looking at some put options, right? To go back to about 93.74 for a very small position. I don't see us going below 93.30 on Walmart. Again, I do see this going to $100 in the next 2 months or less. Okay, but great play. Now let's talk a little bit about crypto, right? I want to go straight over to coinmarketcap.com. I like to start here because it gives us the overall perspective of everything. Now, this is what I love to see when our fear and greed level switches from greed to more fear. That gives us more buying opportunities. Bitcoin is back at 101,999. I think we hit 102 earlier this morning. We needed to go back to 104, and that will give us more momentum. I thought that we would catch that support there, but we cannot expect everything to keep going up, as it has been with the decision of the Fed having the rate cut just happened this one time and shortening their amount of doing it next year. So as we get closer to January 20th, we're going to see Bitcoin fluctuate in these prices, and it's going to keep going up. We see Ethereum is back to 36.85. And again, that tells us, again, we're over 3,000. We're still in a good position. If we want a dollar cost average, that's fine, but we're not done yet. All right. And of course, XRP is at $2.38. But remember, when I got in, it was at 36 cents. So it was much less than this. So I respect the price, even though it's back to number 4. This is beautiful. Okay. So Solana's at 208. We did take a lot of profits on that. Near protocols at 573. I actually may scalp some gains on that today. It's down about 19%. We took a big hit on crypto yesterday. Vet Chain is down 18%. I'm just going through here. Filecoin is at 562. FET, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, is down 24% at $1.41. All of this creates long-term buying opportunities. Undo's up, Virtual is up. Man, wow. IMX is okay, but yeah, it's been a pretty intriguing past 24 hours for crypto, right? Go to our crypto bubbles, right? And then we'll do a little bit of TA. I love how they put the the Christmas things on here, but Bitcoin's down 2.9%, Solana's down 4.2, XRP 6.3, Ethereum 4.7 by market cap. On the hourly, nothing is really moving but Hex. So we just got to watch the chop. We got Hex and PLS and HBAR moving. So let's go right over to TradingView. All right. We'll take a look at HBAR real quick. And look, I will get you guys out of here in some good timing because most of you guys will be watching this recording. So right now, HBAR is still at 29 cents. I told y'all 29 cents is a buying op. All right. So it's a good opportunity to accumulate more HBAR. I think this one is the least talked about, most talked about crypto in the ISO 222 space, but I'm still waiting on XRP and everything else to explode. But Hedra is going to be right there with it. We need a break above 32 cents. We're going to skyrocket to 34, and maybe eventually, not like near term, we'll see this thing over $1. All right. It's not impossible. All right. We touched 57 cents, but I do think that maybe more clarity, more things happening with XRP. ISO 222 HBAR is going to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget tomorrow we will have live question and answer. And I'm literally just going to take straight questions and answers from the YouTube channel. So tap in with me on YouTube tomorrow. You can go to my website. Once again, it's at the bottom of the screen right now. You see it screenshot at www.rogers1906.com. Tap in with me in the Chess Not Checkers group. Again, that's Chess Not Checkers, right? With Tall Guy Tycoon. This is his community. I just so happen to serve as an analyst and instructor, and just try to help facilitate people to, most importantly, keep God first and secure the bag. So make sure you do that for me. Keep God first and secure the bag, and tap in with me. Don't forget to direct message me on Instagram at Rogers1906, the word Batman, and I will plug you with a beautiful discount to the Everything Bundle today. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.